And that's where we are now.
That's where we are now. Currently in Accra. Now, the years back, centuries back, it used to be a one country on its own. There was nothing like division. There was nothing like Ghana. There was nothing like Togo, Benin, Ethiopia, Southern Sudan, Uganda, Kenya, and it was just an empire on its own. So cluster of empires all over. And then we have the Mali Empire, we have the Songhai Empire, we have the Ghana Empire. And at a point in time, the empire started falling apart. Okay. And while it started falling apart, then people in those areas, started moving to other places to capture lands. And in the course of capturing lands, what they do is that they have to fight. Because you move to a particular location, there are people already on the land, and you have to find ways and means to fight them, to conquer them, and take over. Now, fast track. Then the Europeans also started exploring.
Right.
So
go here.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they started coming to Africa and
via the Atlantic Ocean or through here, Mediterranean Sea or the Atlantic Ocean.
Good. They came through different
ways.
Right.
Okay.
But most of them majority came from the European side.
Exactly.
And when they came, they realized that portions of this place have been taken by other Europeans, and because they were not ready or they realized they were conquered, they decided to explore other parts of Africa. That's
how they ended up on the western coast.
Good.
Gotcha.
Good.
So Portugal was the first country to invade Ghana.
Right.
Or this part of Africa, because at that time it was not separate states.
Good. So Portugal was part of the first countries, or the first European people who came to this part of the coast, actually. And then they were conquered by the British, all right. And Portugal, I know, is it Senegal? One of the countries here, they colonized one of the countries here. So now, when they got to the coastal part, they realized that Ghana, for that matter, then was just a plain, vast area.
Right.
There was no name. So they realized there was lots of gold deposited along the coast, and they're moving in. So what they did was they named the place the Gold Coast.
The Gold Coast.
That's where that comes from. That's where the name comes from, the Gold Coast. Now, before then, the Volta region and Togo was together. So there was not like demarcation. So we have from some part of Adan all the way to some part of Benin, known as the Enslaved Coast. And then from some part of Adan to the western part was known as the Gold Coast. So we have the Enslaved Coast and then the Gold Coast.
So why was it called Enslaved Coast?
Enslaved Coast because that wasn't part of the Gold Coast. That was also a different terrain on its own, and that place was being colonized, not colonized per se, but then that place was being taken over by the Dutch, the Germans.
So they had already been enslaved.
Good.
So they started earlier.
Good.
Before 1619.
Right. So they there in the Volta region, precisely Keta, there's a dungeon over there, which is known as the Fort Princeton. Rather unfortunate, Fort Princeton has not been exploited that much, so much history is not being told to the outside world. Which I have an article on that I'll be sharing later on too. Now, the Fort Princeton links up with Togo, Benin, Nigeria. So they were taking slaves from those parts, and then including some parts of the northern region also, current day northern Paga. That is the Picoro slave camp also.
In Burkina Faso?
No, closer to the Burkina Faso border. Up here. So they were taking slaves from all over to the Fort Princeton, that is in the Volta region. And interesting enough, you realize that some part of those in the Volta region, through to Benin, to some part of Nigeria, speaks the Ewe language.
Ewe?
Yes, Ewe.
Ewe.
Yes, but it's being pronounced as Ewe.
Ewe.
Right. Right. And interestingly, it was the Germans who helped to discover or teach us how to write the alphabet. They helped us with our alphabet. But then again, we as Africans, we have our own alphabetical way of writing.
Right.
You understand? I was in Nanya Pikoro Paga area, and in Navrongo. I realized they also had their own unique symbols that depict their own alphabets. Okay, so that is to say that Africa in general, we are self-sustained. That is number one. And now has to do with the fact that we are already reorganized, organized. Okay, and then again to talk about the fact that we, when it comes to development, okay, we were far advanced because most of us, per history, tells us that we are coming from Egypt. Right. You understand? From Israel then through to Egypt. Right. Okay, so most of us.
There's no break in between Cairo and Jordan.
Right.
So, but this part is the continent of Africa. I wonder back in the day, was this all one land?
Yes, we.
Because there's nothing that breaks there. The Red Sea
history makes me understand that. Then most of these places were together. I think it was as a result of earthquake and the rest. That's
separated.
It started separating.
Okay. So, question for you: do you think that the whole continent of Africa will one day, that the demarcations between the countries will go away, and that there will be one Africa continent?
Right. Yes, I strongly believe that.
Okay.
A time will come that all Africans will come together with one language, if not one language, but then a language that we can be able to understand each other.
Right.
And then with one unity, we build our mother Africa. And then
one president?
It's possible. You understand? Then we can be able to focus on how to develop ourselves as Africans. Right. As South Africans. I have one brother by name Brother Lord, Brother Papa Lord. Okay. He's in the United Kingdom. Okay. And he and his team, and there are other professors also who are also trying very well to bring all of us together as one Africans or as one people. Wow, one black people.
That's excellent. Could you speak about the different? These are all of the African continent flags.
Yes.
And you were telling me that there's some. The symbols on them represent a lot of different things.
So these are some of the African.
Some of the African flags. Okay.
Some of the African flags.
Right. That one's Ghana.
Yeah, this is Ghana. It is a coat of arms.
Coat of arms. Okay.
And with the Ghana flag, for instance, what we have here is the red, the gold, the green, and then the star.
Right.
Which have a signification, okay, or meaning.
Right.
As well as the coat of arms also. Okay. And all these countries also have same. Okay. Now, when you take a country like Kenya, for instance, they have the bull there and then the shield as well. Okay. That is to tell you how powerful they are and how skillful they are when it comes to using the shield to fight.
Wow. Okay.
And let's not forget that Shaka Zulu is coming from those traces through to South Africa.
Really?
Right.
Okay. See, that's where he ruled?
No, he ruled in South Africa.
South Africa.
Right.
Okay.
The Zulus are Zulus. But then they trace some part of this thing from that side. Okay. Now,
can you explain what the Ghana flag?
Right. So the Ghana flag, we have the red that stands for the toll of our forefathers. Okay. How hard our forefathers have to go through the process. Some have to even die in the process. Right. Just to claim or just to get us independent, our freedom. Okay.
And Ghana has been independent since what?
Ghana has been independent since 6 March 1957.
March 1957. Right. Okay.
And then the yellow here represents the gold that we have, the resources that we have. And then the green represents the green vegetations that we have. Talk of the cocoa, talk of the timber, talk of the rubber, talk of a whole lot of green vegetations and the rich forest that we have, the natural forest that we have in Ghana. Now, the star over there symbolizes the hope of Africans, or the hope of the black hope, for that matter.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. There's so much history in the continent.
No. To add to it, this is Zimbabwe.
Yes.
The majority. The majority language, the language which is mostly spoken is the Shona language. Now, when you trace, Shona translates or extend to all these parts of Africa.
Okay.
So in South Africa, there are shoners there.
Mhm.
When you go to Botswana, you could get shoners also there. When you go to Zimbabwe, you have some shoners also there.
Is that a tribe of people?
Right, it's a tribe of people.
Shoners.
Yeah, and they speak the language, they speak Shona.
They speak Shona.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
And in that same manner,
Okay.
I was trying to explain to you that in the
Yes.
Volta region,
Right.
Togo, Benin, and then some part of Nigeria, they also speak Ebe.
Okay.
You understand? And then when you go to the up north here, that is the Paga side, Navungo Paga,
Mhm.
they speak the Kasin and then the Nankana. Okay.
Okay.
Now the Kasin people extend into Burkina Faso.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mhm, mhm.
And it so applies to Ivory Coast also. There are people in Ivory Coast that speaks same language as those at the coastal part, those in Ghana.
Okay. And you also had told me about there's certain countries that were, I guess, colonized by the French. So
Mhm.
therefore, their primary language is French.
French, you're right.
And
So,
they're on the western
good.
coast.
So Ivory Coast,
Okay.
Burkina Faso, Togo, Benin
Uh-huh.
were colonized by the French-speaking countries,
Okay. Okay.
including
And
Mali.
also Senegal as well, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. So that is to tell you that Ghana is being surrounded by lot of countries that speaks
Right.
French.
French.
But then again, as I was saying,
Mhm.
the country wasn't demarcated well, because when you
Mhm.
get to the western side,
Mhm.
there's a twin town there,
Mhm.
which one is in Ivory Coast, the other is in Ghana.
Okay.
That and when there's festival going on in Ghana, their siblings,
Okay.
their twin siblings, comes to it comes to the Ghana side.
Twin siblings?
Yes,
Okay.
comes to the Ghana part to celebrate with their fellow brothers and sisters there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Very good.
these people are. I want to mention the tribe, the name. They also speak Chi,
Okay.
and they also believe to be coming from some part of the Ashanti region.
Okay.
They believe, and then again in Sierra Leone,
Right.
there are some tribes there that also believes that they are coming from the Ashanti Kingdom.
Wow. Which is in Ghana.
Good Ashanti
Right.
Kingdom, which is in Ghana.
Okay. And you mentioned tree.
Right.
Tree. TWI. Tree. It's pronounced.
Yes.
Okay. Is spoken widely in Ghana.
It's spoken widely in Ghana.
Okay.
And,
So-
and I would say that with how wide and how extensively I've traveled, okay,
Mhm.
across the length and breadth of the country, which
Mhm.
is more than 60 times,
Okay.
and over.
Okay.
I can confidently say that
Mhm.
almost all parts of the country we
Mhm.
speak Chi.
Tree.
Because we go to a particular place that
Mhm.
you can't speak their language.
Mhm.
The only language they tend to understand a little is the Chi.
Tree. So
Right.
tree is kind of like a universal language. So if anyone in the diaspora that's coming to specifically Ghana,
Mhm.
tree is
Well, it's advisable that you also learn a
Learn
little
a
bit
little
of Chi.
tree,
Right. A
Because
little
that's
bit
kind
of
of like
Chi.
the universal
Right.
all over Ghana.
Mhm. And then the second one that
Okay.
follows is the Ewe.
Ewe.
Ewe, yes,
Okay,
right. Mhm.
okay.
So you can also choose to learn the Ewe also as an
Okay.
alternative language. But then, because the international airport is in Accra,
Right.
okay, so most people will also like to speak a little of the Gan.
God.
Yeah, so in Gan, for instance, we say Teoyoten, Teoyoten, or simply put Teten, which is how are you?
How are you?
Right,
Okay.
and then the Ewes
Mhm.
go this way, F1,
Mhm.
F1.
And the Ewes are where?
Ewes are Ewes from the Volta region.
Volta region.
Right, and then the Ashantis go this way, Etiseng.
That is saying.
Right,
Yeah, and
right.
Eye is
Good,
the
and then the
response.
response is Eye.
Okay.
And then the Ewes, when it goes this way,
Mhm.
F1, you respond A, Mefon.
Emefo.
Right, you got
Okay.
it right. Right. And then the Gan's own is Te Oyoten or Teten, and then the response is Iyojoba.
Yojuba.
Right.
Yojuba.
Right.
Which is
The Gan.
the
Gan language.
translation.
Okay, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Right,
Okay.
I'm fine.
And it's how are you? I'm fine.
I'm fine, right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. There's lots more we'll talk about, but then
Yes.
I think we'll end here for now,
Yes.
and then we'll go for a short commercial break. Then we continue with the second part, which I know you're going to love it. All right. As I said, this is Detraveling Photographer, and I'm with All Things Africa, coming all the way from the USA, specifically Florida.
Florida.
Right.
Yes.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Right. Okay.
But I'm here in Ghana.
In Ghana, right. So we say bye-bye.